All right, in the latest push, we'll move on to prosecute President Trump's perceived political foes. The Republican chair of the House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio, is asking the Justice Department to take legal action against former CIA Director John Brennan for allegedly lying to Congress back in 2023. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Jordan claims that Brennan, who led the CIA during a probe of Russian interference in the 2016 election, quote, knowingly and willfully made false statements about the agency's use of the Steele dossier. That is the largely discredited collection of memos that allege ties between President Trump and Russia. The president has long spoken out against Brennan for his role in the Russia investigation, and the former CIA director's continued criticism of Trump and his administration. Brennan is also reportedly under investigation by the DOJ related to the Russia probe and has denied any wrongdoing. We should note that John Brennan is an MSNBC contributor. Elizabeth Buemiller, yet another focus of potentially Donald Trump's retribution. What do you make of this one?
Well, the names just keep piling up. The people he's gone after. It's now, how many is this? About 4 or 5 he's gone after. And I don't, again, it's unclear exactly if there's any kind of a strong case here, but for Donald Trump, that doesn't matter. He's just said himself completely openly that it may not end up in any kind of a criminal charge or a conviction, but it's just to torture his perceived enemies and to put them through it. It's expensive. It's torturous for the person, and that's what he wants to do. He's going to pay back all of his enemies after what happened to him. And so this is just another notch in his belt, really. It's
extraordinary, David, the extent to which Donald Trump and his allies are still focused on an election from 9 years ago to clear, he believes, his name in this Russia probe. Are these investigations going anywhere, whether it's John Brennan or James Comey or Letitia James in a separate matter? Are these real investigations, or are these just meant to do what Elizabeth says?
They are, well, they're real investigations in that, again, the president now, as the new head of the Justice Department, wants them to go forward. But I want to say one very specific thing about John Brennan. I interviewed John Brennan weeks before the 2016 election, and I asked him about the dossier. I sat in the office of the CIA director in Langley, Virginia, and he, at the time, was off the record. He said, I can talk about this on the record. And I asked, is this true, this allegation, that allegation? He said, oh, wait a minute, and he said, I'm not commenting on that. He seemed literally surprised. And he told me to be very careful and to not write about any, he's like, you're going to hear a lot of crazy allegations against Donald Trump in the last few weeks of the 2016 campaign. Same thing, crazy allegations about Hillary Clinton. Be very careful, don't write about them. So he told me not to write about the dossier. And that's the truth. That's what he said to me. And so it's extraordinary that now there's this narrative that he was peddling the dossier before the 2016 election. He wasn't. I worked for Reuters at that point. Many news organizations had the dossier. None of us wrote about it before the election. There was, I think, 1 or 2 small stories about the dossier before the 2016 election. So this history is just all off.
So he thought it was garbage even at the time, the dossier.
Yes. He was just, shocked. So there was like a press guy sitting there but that is my experience with him, just weeks before the 2016 election. We went to Justice Department officials and asked them, were there these meetings between Carter Page and officials in the Kremlin? And they refused. That was earlier in the summer of 2016. They refused to comment. So again, Reuters, much of the mainstream media didn't report about the dossier before the 2016 election. So this whole narrative, I feel, is largely off.
And the Steele dossier has become kind of this buzz term for people in MAGA world about the 2016 election.